Hi everyone! So second video review for this week is for A Roll in the Hay by Lola Keeley. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I did just post that the other day. So if you're on YouTube, there is a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So A Roll in the Hay by Lola Keeley. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, so cute. I literally probably haven't stopped thinking about it since I finished reading it. It was one of those books that really got to me, and I loved it so much. So it's one of those stories where it's about two main characters really, but there's a community surrounding them. So Tess is returning home basically to Scotland, to her Scottish roots, to invest in her best friend's vet practice and use her skills in equine to expand that business. So upon arriving back in this little village in Scotland, she finds herself in a bit of a run-in with this very snooty lady, Susanna Carson, who appears to be pretty much involved in most of the village and their businesses, and she potentially could be a really big client for the veterinary practice, because obviously she has all this land and she has these horses. But having tension between them, Susanna then finds that she has to put her differences aside, however incompetent she deems Tess, having met her that first time, when she requires the assistance of a vet and Tess is the only person around. What a shame. So Susanna has to trust her, and the rising tensions sort of fuel this underlying undeniable attraction between them. And upon finding their mutual love of horses, they build a bit of a relationship on these shaky foundations, and have to learn to accept it is what it is. They're attracted to one another, and get over that initial disagreement I suppose they had. So this was totally adorable and cute. I mean, despite the enemies to lovers trope, which I do love it, it was that tension that really made the story, and so you needed that enemies to lovers thing to get this story just right, I think. And the tension between Tess and Susanna, it was very sexy right from the start. So right from that very first meeting, you could tell that tension was laced with attraction, and they were both in complete denial for a very long time. And it was apparent they were going to get on each other's nerves until they found an understanding. So I'm so glad the horses could be that understanding for them, because it would have been such a shame if they'd just been at each other's throats. It was that love for animals, though. It was that real love that softened both of them and brought the excitement that came with them trying to work around their own issues with each other, and the busybodies in the village as well, because you know how it is in a village, to navigate their relationship to a point where basically I think they couldn't, in the end, they just couldn't deny that they just, were perfect for one another. They really were. So it was something very intense to read at times because of that tension. And Susanna and Tess, once they'd established that truce, that tension still was underlying behind, because in a way they were still a bit guarded about their feelings towards one another because of everybody getting involved in this village. And they needed the room to let it all blossom, but even with the restrictions, they had to find ways to do that. So I loved the sense of community that really built into the story. I loved the fact that it was like, I mean, if you live in the UK, you'll know what I mean. So if you live in the UK, you'll understand that little village setup where it's a bit like Emmerdale. It was a bit like a little soap drama. I loved it, and it very much. I loved that whole balance as well of village vet and really, really posh lady. That everybody's on edge around Susanna, and of course it had to be Tess to be the one to melt her. And it just had a very homely feel to it, and it explored some really interesting, diverse aspects with the characters living in this village as well. Some very interesting relationships and I can't think of the right word. Ways of interacting, I guess, with one another, with the the gossip and the whispers behind, and it's her and I don't like her, and everyone's got an opinion about her. You know what I mean? Villages, they're just like that. People, little tiny villages have this thing, where everybody knows everybody and therefore everybody's got these opinions. And but it was really, really cute, and I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of the story. I really didn't want to put it down. It was one of those books where I could easily, like, I was reading for ages and I was like, oh, I need to write a reading update because I'm making so much progress. So it was definitely one of those books, and there were surprises with every new chapter, and some brilliant scenes that literally scared the living daylights out of me, and I was worrying and I was crying, but then there were other scenes where I was just laughing and falling in love with Susanna and Tess, to the point that I really think they deserve like some sort of combined ship name. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like when the celebs do it, like you have Brangelina and stuff, or however you say it. Like, I think, you know, these two need one. So I you know, whatever, like, put some suggestions below. What do you think Tess and Susanna should be called? I put some in my written review, so if you've seen them and you like those, then tell me. But I think that's what I think. Yeah, I think they need one of those names, you know, one of those combined names. I really do. But whatever, that's just me. I really thought this was an amazing story, and I really hope we see more from Tess and Susanna in the future, because I think this definitely has the potential to have a little bit of their future written into a future story. We might be lucky. That would be really cool, and I'd really love that. But yeah, I really recommend it. I think it's a really, really good book, and it's one of those cute romances that you can just get lost in, and you'll love it, and it'll stay with you because you'll just feel such a connection to the characters. It's so warm and friendly and homely, that you really will love it. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of A Roll in the Hay by Lola Keeley. If you've read A Roll in the Hay, please let me know what you thought of it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Comment below, get involved in the discussion, come and talk to me about it. If you haven't read A Roll in the Hay by Lola Keeley yet, and you're planning to, or it's on your to be read list, or you're now really, really interested in reading it, again, comment below, because it's always great to hear what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I really, really hope you enjoy it. Bye.